Hi, my name is Rob Danno. I worked for the National Park Service for about 33 years. My career as a National Park Ranger was really the culmination of a childhood dream. I was very successful in my career until I transferred to the C&O Canal National Historical Park. I learned about this individual named Dan Snyder, the billionaire owner of the Washington Redskins. And he lived in what was essentially an American castle adjacent to the park along the Potomac River. The park was created with the aid of many scenic easements that were purchased from landowners. And those landowners would give up their ability to do certain things on their land in exchange for money. There had never been an alteration to the terms and conditions of these scenic easements in its entire history. Mr. Snyder had been advocating for clear-cutting hundreds of trees on one of these scenic easements that was adjacent to his property and the Potomac River. The acting superintendent, Kevin Brandt, proposed to allow the cutting. And so I talked to the superintendent on numerous occasions about this proposal and basically explained to him that, it's against policy and law to harm park resources without congressional authorization. As time went on, the superintendent started treating me as essentially disloyal, pulling my budgets, restricting my movements. So I called Peer. And I talked to Jeff Ruck. He counseled anonymous activism. And he sent me a book, and he said, and it was called Anonymous Activism, and he said, look, you have no idea how weak the system is and where this is going to go, etc. And of course, I didn't take his advice. I went to the Department of Interior's Inspector General and the Office of Special Counsel, and I filed this whistleblower complaint. Well, 2 weeks after I had filed that complaint, and 2 investigators walk into my office, relieve me of my commission, and oh, by the way, an investigation has been initiated into you. It's about a year after I was reassigned. Breaking on the front page of the Washington Post was the results of the Inspector General's IG investigation. And it disclosed that this whole tree cutting proposal was initiated by the director herself. Her name was Fran Manella. She was invited to a Washington Redskins game. It was reported by her assistant, Dan Smith. He said that he was assigned by the director when she came back from the Washington Redskins game to complete this project for Dan Snyder. The case was turned over to the U.S. Attorney's Office, but they declined to prosecute. Instead, they came after me, and they came after me very hard. We fought for a long time. I'll spare you all of that. It's contained in a book I wrote called Worth Fighting For. Near the end of this conflict, Jeff Ruck came to me and he said, the new special counsel in the Office of the Special Counsel is legit. Jeff asked for 2 copies of my book, and he says, look, I'm gonna hand carry them. I'm gonna walk them right down to her office and give them to her with your complaint and have them conduct the investigation. It was really the Office of Special Counsel who was the first entity that was outside the authority of the agency, which was so important. I'd like to just thank Peer for the opportunity and help celebrate their 25th anniversary, and thank them for the service that they have provided for our country, and of course the employees of our land management agencies. They have helped us to live up to the missions of these agencies in many cases.